like when I get to demand, you go. Right. Okay. Now we're going to stop after you cut them off. Cut them off. Okay. All right.
We're on the air? Public Access presents Good evening, I'm Miss Lone Star, and this is Poetry. Tonight we have Bob Rosenthal and Paul Violi. But first I'm going to read a poem. Powder Puff, Suicide Improvisation Monologue. Get out of here. I feel like laughing, but I'm crying. We hate you. They pick on me 'cause they like me. Cheap emotionalism. They just want to affect me. Irrelevant before and after. I'll never be the same twice. It's a scar. To see something, not a smooth, shiny surface. We want to affect you. I feel like laughing, but I'm crying. Total bitch. Total beauty. Kind. A word for creeps. I hate God. You're dead. General practice. Rubber band suicide. I feel like laughing, but I'm crying. Hug. Horrors. Ho! I feel like laughing, but I'm crying. Drop. Am I speaking too loud?
Long may you wait for Abigail Rose Harwood. I am sitting in a new room, in the sense the blue is sky, or an old shape becomes in style. I am facing the sun in a new manner. I'm speaking directly to the energy compost. The black hands are scaling the face of your sleep. 11:15, the second time in your history, for you were yesterday born, an event you may attach later importance to. On the 11th in the year 2000, you will still be new. May I indulge your little smudges of arms and legs with terrific energy and bristling foresight that will put hope into the fire of your going and enervate the loping madness you may find among the simple colors that fly. And now there is another rose in the valley whose real armor is a prickly love, and whose fragrance may sustain a world bumping in wonder the way I do walking in and out of this room. 3 pages on luck, coins on a steel drum. I'm all for the symphony in a hologram. The 10,000 gears daily grind our bread, the shovels that mix cement into sidewalk, lunch pails upset on a bench. The sun is singing yellows. Shelley put her cold hands at the crack of dawn. I stretched my torso over them, like the firmament melting the stars, the aurora of cactus bristling as a bird pecks a new home, or I dig out of my coffee grounds. The end of all I hold dear in a cup. The battery of beer bottles holds lower Manhattan down. I've been informed the World Trade Center is sinking one end, so Harlem may be thrown up like a flapjack and land in the East 50s. The United Jazz Nations building opens all its windows. Earthworms squeeze out like spaghetti coming through the mill. They praise the sun and slide to the ground and search for the World Trade Center in the ground. 7 years good luck. Chords of music from within the fruit stand. I stand, Tropicana in hand, pronounce a progressive new age, a new century, anew with pride. I look over the short cashier's head. I see a truck glistening, a self-contained beauty, and large letters across its flank. Tasty. My chops swell with blood. I turn up the volume knob above my hip. White t-shirts dazzle 14th Street, unlessoned, with no ear. A couple love each other at Woolworth's counter. Unaware mountains are walking towards us, tossing the city so high it nosebleeds. Fountains spill like a gallon of milk over pavement, singing through the air a melody of soft white to drown a pigeon's beak as it pecks a balloon, which bursts with a force that turns a weather vane north to south, pulling the cord through the pulley, hanging the rooster in his cock, a dying dew whose red comb excites a tickle across the waist of a giggle which wakes up the seismologist who weighs herself on the Richter scale at 8. The miracle age happens as it is composed. I pray for pieces in a mirror snapping together. Edge of tails or heads. Washington spoke. The bronze castings have shattered and fallen into the sea foam. The laws of land will drown the fire which melting makes gore. You will sit in the east wind playing tiles while the ivory tusks in your brain flare butane torches. You will inhabit a sidewalk of popsicle color. You will pour yourself back into the gray bed and soft beard of a steaming platter. One tear at a time falls to nowhere. A universe humming little tunes through their bones rises to the eye. And so, like on Mars, we invented rivers of life in a green shadow. Now is not the time. It is a convention of buttons. Now is the thread that follows like black exhaust, a needle utility. The artist puts his paintings out on 14th Street, hoping to find a soul to haul them away. Many take them individually in hand, unsigned. A slight mauve feeling toasts the many flights to heaven and above. How high I pumped a tube, and how crushed in spoken, turning, and dance to Frankfurter violin played by a powder puff, waltzing tungsten, traveling a million miles. Every forgotten day sizzles on the blank, chores ahead. Please ease this rubbed out turn. And this is a song in those newfound chores. I play to play simple to spirit. I play to play simple to song. With a hey dung dung din, I'll likely do it again. A worldly apple face grins, lips wouldn't care off your shoulder. With a hey dung dung din, smile all over heavens. What difference can a key make me to open you close against my knock under a hey dung dung din? We surely hope to do it in. The lake forms on the edge to follow the tracks on some dry shore. With a hey dung dung din, our muscles are sand, not sin. The clock tarries its caress, searching for acne cure. With a hey dung dung din, a pimple after 11. Oh, spring, thou mildest sensation, nothing to let me down. With a hey dung dung din, in you go I up the drain. I play to play simple to spirit. I play to play simple to song. With a hey dung dung din, master feel my start begin. Thanks. Okay, a few more. I think they never found gold in a fig leaf. A shabby Chinese slipper bites black. Acorns dash down the fiberglass gutters. The trail, a continual hearing. Stethoscope to the temples. What we grow inside our windows is all outdoors. In a pot, it's spider plant. Mother-in-law tongue in the hedge. The skinny green trees rattle delicate red petals with paraffin blueness. There is a breeze turning the valiant engine which dies at succeeding corners. The winter population sits down to bask in front of the plucked turkey, or lift a tongue above the waves rolling, red-spoked suction of Ringling Brothers Circus Museum. The air of a Thanksgiving gas charms the child, stoning the alligator. In 10 to 15 million years, everything you see will be oil. Publishing 2001. It had to be a big book to be a whale, a bear, a city, or a song. As a moth is witness, smoothing out its antennae with silky legs, and then another sudden flutter barrage on the wrong side of the screen. The screen is exhausting, or a man enlarged by sources, parting lips less apart, paralyzes. Who is a man? The moth up and steps up and says, who's asking? The single chord, the wild bar. Performance art. Gossip is more revolutionary than videotape. The performance is always best recreated, flawless, to the point, like a storm on the ground. What can be preserved as the street lamps are shaking their heads no to Bartok? Well, he is gone in the twinkle of a star. The TV is on, and people are at home watching our performance. The sky intensifies white, and the rain whips harder, flaying a fur coat to help forget our life. For what gracious style is born on you? You rise like a mere lad surfacing the brown puddle. This is not a negative age, but there is contained a fumble. The next time the North and South Poles trade spots, all videotape will reverse. Oh, futurisms or people wondering at us on our heads, talking and jumping. They will know better than us what a hare did. Yet, in the unkempt out of doors, the passing walker may only deceive himself and thus help us. He is following the strands of footage before him. His ear is close to the ground. So what if his brain never was anywhere? He will pass us on, involute, racially memorized, zapped into a nation who won't read. The performer has no more ghost in magnetism than a partridge plays viola. Our performance will live in the style it was given, regardless of the captor's attempt. His machinery must break. The best tied nets must rot. But don't tell anyone I told you.
That was Bob Rosenthal. Now is Paul Violi.
What do I do with this? Hold it. That's speaking of this. I'm going to read from this book with a silly afterthought in the back cover. So.
Oh, I should have given him this. Do you want me to?
Exacta. And they're off. Babe Wittgenstein takes the lead. It's Babe Wittgenstein, Morbid Blonde, Queasy Phantom, Princess Spitz, Squeak Aorta, Dream Helmet, and Pigs in Moonlight. Princess Spitz coming up fast. It's Babe Wittgenstein, Morbid Blonde, and Princess Spitz. Babe Wittgenstein has the edge. Here comes Dream Helmet, neck and neck with Queasy Phantom. Pigs in Moonlight losing ground. Princess Spitz nosing out Babe Wittgenstein. They're bunched up on the rail. Queasy Phantom takes the turn. It's Princess Spitz by a length. Babe Wittgenstein and Morbid Blonde, nose and nose. Rounding the turn, Dream Helmet on the outside. Squeaked Aorta out of the running. It's Princess Spitz and Morbid Blonde. Babe Wittgenstein losing ground. Pigs in Moonlight breaking sharply. Queasy Phantom takes the turn. It's going to be close. It's Princess Spitz, Morbid Blonde, Babe Wittgenstein, Dream Helmet, Queasy Phantom, Pigs in Moonlight, and Squeaked Aorta trailing the field. A little daylight now between Babe Wittgenstein and Pigs in Moonlight. It's going to be tight. Princess Spitz fighting it out with Morbid Blonde. It's Princess Spitz. It's Morbid Blonde. It's Princess Spitz. Queasy Phantom slowing down. Dream Helmet 2 lengths behind Pigs in Moonlight. They're going into the stretch. Morbid Blonde out front. Pigs in Moonlight closing fast. Here comes Pigs in Moonlight sweeping past Princess Spitz. Morbid Blonde and Pigs in Moonlight neck and neck. Babe Wittgenstein tiring, falling back. It's Morbid Blonde. It's Pigs in Moonlight. It's going to be Pigs in Moonlight. Pigs in Moonlight has the field. Pigs in Moonlight charging through. It's Pigs in Moonlight. Pigs in Moonlight winning by 2 lengths. Phenikistes urges his crew onward. To reject years of sporadic nihilism, neck hope, neck fear, and then sail down the Nile itself on a soggy, fly-blown raft, carried all the way by the same wave, Dreary days beneath the taunts of snide cliff dwellers, rancorous-eyed vultures, dim-witted natives pelting the slack sail with apple cores, oars jammed in purple mud, stench of wet dogs and the river fanning out finally to the sea. A morning where it will be impossible to prove or disprove anything. A sky that retains the stars of the previous night, hours after the dark evaporates. White stars above the sparkling sea. Dream-winged dragonflies gliding in the warm wind. Delta reeds vibrating a sway. Then the soundless level end. Your masts burning to a glossy red ash. Shadows flowering into reflections. Or to follow another route, perched on the edge of a glacier, a frozen river that pushes the days ahead of itself. To sit there and maybe applaud, as if it were a seat in the front row of a new language that was creating valleys, disrupting societies, shoving them and their slot-eyed goats aside in order to stay on the verge of a white flood and despise all nostalgia except the longing for another Arctic. Crater-like stadiums, islands covered with lava, snow and steaming wells, flames and ice prospering together, a splendor brightened even more by a lunar envy. The morning's red, the earth rounder, and the unobstructed call of voices skidding for miles over the ice. Big Daddy. Walk in the park, day bright and fair, flip a cripple a nickel, kick a pigeon in the air. Index. Hudney, Sutej, Roman numerals 9, 10, 11. Plates 6, 10, 12, 15. Childhood, 70, 71. Education, 78, 79, 80. Early relationship with family, 84. Enters academy, honors, 84. Arrest and bewilderment, 85. Formation of spatial theories, 90. Romance of Ardoi, the, 92. Second arrest, 93. Early voyages, life in the Pyrenees, 95. Marriage, 95. Abandons landscape painting, 96. Third arrest, 97. Weakness of character, inconstancy, 101. First signs of illness, advocation of celibacy, 106, 107. Advocates abolishment of celibacy, 110. Expulsion from Mazar, 110. Collaborations with Fernando G, 111. Composes lines beginning, Death, wouldst that I had died while thou wert still a mystery, 117. Consequences of fame, violent rows, professional disputes, 118, 119. Disavows all his work, 120. Bigamy, scandals, illness, admittance of being, quote, easily crazed like snow, unquote, 128. Theories of perspective published, 129. Birth of children, 129. Analysis of important works, Wine glass with fingertips, Nude on a blue sofa, The drunken fox trappers, Man wiping tongue with large towel, Hay bale stacked in a field, Self-portrait with cat, self-portrait with frozen mop, self-portrait with belching duck. Correspondence with Cecco Angelieri, 136. Dispute over attribution of lines, quote, I have as large supply of evils as January has not flowerings, 137. Builds first greenhouse, 139. Falling out with Angelieri, 139. Flees famine, 144. Paints starved cat eating snow, 145. Arrested for selling sacks of wind to gullible peasants, 146. Imprisonment and bewilderment, 147. Disavows all his work, 158. Invents the collar stay, 159. Convalescence with third wife, 162. Complains of a, quote, dense and baleful wind blowing the words I write off the page, 165. Meets with Madam T, 170. Departure, mortal premonitions, Quote, I think I'm about to snow, 176. Disavows all his work, 181. Arrest and pardon, 182. Last days, 183. Last words, 184, 185, 186, 187, 188, 189, 190. Well, look. Gary, you want to get the chorus in their place? And, there's a special arrangement of snorkeling with Captain Bravo with a chorus.
Sit down.
Or Captain Bravo in
Wendy's
stereo.
doing. Boodle. Is he doing it too? He's not doing it?
A belief in the perfectibility of man
Boodle. Bloop, 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 bloop.
can only lead to despair and needlessly heavy breathing.
Boodle, loop, bloop, bloop, bloop.
Try not to laugh.
Bloop.
Just keep those flippers working close to the surface.
Sputter, sputter.
Between worlds.
Gloop, gloop.
The fatal yawn of totalitarian.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
The violent die stupid deaths.
Boop, boop.
Avoid cults. No theory, no
Bloop, bloop.
system, no book will save you.
You doodle, boop, doop, doop.
Be a true seeker and fall forever upward like an angel.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Here. Let's see. I want to read Harold and Imogene. The beautiful Imogene is finally alone with him. She wants to tell him she knows he is a Martian, but that she also loves him and his secret is safe with her. As he turns and hands her drink, she blurts out her confession, throwing her arms around his neck. His response petrifies her. He becomes totally rigid. A horrible realization stuns her to sobriety. She mumbles the words before they are formed in her mind. You come from another galaxy, don't you? You're probably different from us, aren't you? You've been transformed to look like us, haven't you? Why, for all I know, I'm repulsive to you. She faints. Harold knows she would tell the other house guests that he is secretly a Martian and endanger the success of his mission. He knows what he must do. He unclasps the cufflink that contains a vial of demetabolizing fluid. He drops it. It shatters on the floor. Panicked, he gets down and starts licking the fluid off the tile. It is a futile exercise. Something else stops him, however. He has noticed his reflection on the shiny surface. Imogene, that very afternoon, had waxed those floors with Super Bright, the all-new floor wax that is the nation's leading seller. Harold stares at his gleaming visage. He realizes he will be wearing that mask for the rest of his mortal days on planet Earth. His dejection is profound. He stands up, knocks his head against the mantelpiece, and sobs. Free leadership sample. You never know when things will get serious. One should keep certain lines at hand, like a dime for a pay toilet, for the moment when somebody will have to say something. So tear along the perforation for this free leadership sample. Brothers, we are like snowflakes. Alone we dissolve on a pebble. Together we can change the course of rivers.
Boo.
A sonnet for the Earl of Surrey. The golfer smiles in his polo shirt. The little man has beaten the bully. The housewife is using a new detergent, and the Californian squints behind his sunglasses. The man in the diner likes his new bow tie, and so does the doctor who saved the injured cheerleader. The detective uses hair tonic, the stout nurse is immaculate, the waitress wants to date the truck driver, the grocer slices a pound of bologna, the reporter asks him how it feels. The teacher wears a wild shirt, the coach tells the youngster to shape up or ship out, the old lady asks him the time, The woman in curlers orders a hamburger, and yet I want to jump for joy.
That was wonderful.
Arm wrestle for money?
You have to stand up, so.
Well, I'd like to, what?
We're going to arm wrestle for $50.
Oh, they're going to, now we have an arm wrestle between Paul Violi and Bob Rosenthal. I am the moderator. They'll do it on this soft, glamorous couch.
30 more seconds.
Okay, get on your mark, get set, go! Well, it's neck and neck.
It's arm and arm.
It's arm and arm. They're neck and neck.
If you could just get this close, you could see. They'll get there in about, how long, Bob? 2 weeks? Oh. Well, nothing's happening. We still have 1 minute. I'd like to present all the fast people who helped make this show possible. Director of camera, Suzanne Kuffler. Camera, Marge Pascitti and Greg Masters. Producer, David Hertz. And this is public access poetry. Did they win? What happened? Now we jump rope.
Quick poem.
I mean, we still, although we did have 5 minutes, so we still,
Are we still on? Still on?
I'm still on.
Quick one.
All right.
A couple.
Read your notes.
We had no winner.
Read your notes.
Well, I don't really have any notes. But I could read a poem for the occasion. I don't know where it is. Goodbye. Good. All I wanted to do is kill time.